approach of just hard coding, don't kill humans, will probably not work, as illustrated by every novel Asimov ever wrote. We need something better, and that's exactly the type of research I'm advocating for, trying to figure out how to develop systems which
amazing
essentially don't want to harm humans, not because we are...
Yeah, we better not just try to count on them being well-behaved. We better be in control right now.
Exactly.
All right, very impressive, Professor. Thank you so much. Hopefully in a month or so you'll come back with us and take more calls, because this is just riveting, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I would love to be back. It was awesome.
It was awesome having you. Wow. That's the type of stuff that gives our society a future, is having discussions about this. Not about Britney Spears or about Jay-Z or whatever, but about this type of stuff. This is what's amazing. This is what's interesting. This is what is thought-provoking. Big news straight ahead. It's important. Stay with us. And I'll continue with your calls discussing the Terminator scenario. These already autonomous drones and systems becoming artificially aware and trying to take over human society. Most of the top computer scientists believe it's going to happen. Many of them say, like Ray Kurzweil, you can't stop it. When we go to your calls, I'm sure people are holding to cover that. Our guest is gone. I need to get back into some more of the news here first, and boy, is there a lot of it. And then we'll continue with your calls. One thing, I'm so obsessed with the news and information now that I never even plug products, books, videos, sponsors, any of it. And I think that's a bad thing, A, because this is key information to get out of the public, and B, it funds the InfoWars operation. And I want to thank all of you that get subscriptions at prisonplanet.tv to see the radio show and watch the nightly news and all my films and get the higher quality podcast with a 15-day free trial there. I want to thank all of you that do buy the books and videos and T-shirts. Not only do you get great materials to educate yourself to a higher level, it's also riveting information, but also to pay it forward and give to others or meet like-minded people by wearing the InfoWars T-shirts and things like that. It's all available at InfoWars.com. The two books, When Technology Fails and When Disaster Strikes. And it's not because we live in fear. We're covering this so we can be aware of it and be empowered. You know, if I say, hey, to my son, you know, we're going to go out to the lake today, we're going to be fishing. Be careful when you walk off from me in tall grass. Walk on the paths. There could be water moccasins. It's not be fearful. It's be in charge. Be aware of what's going on and how to respond. When Disaster Strikes, When Technology Fails by MIT educated design engineer. Bloodlines Illuminati by Fritz Springmeier. Incredible book and how sick these people are and why they're so crazy. Behind the Green Mask, Agenda 21. Excellent book to get to every county commissioners, city councils. By the way, I've seen a couple of big cities. Bryan College Station passed a law against Agenda 21 and found out they were under it and kicked it out. Just Monday I saw that. I mean, there's stuff happening. Romans 13, how the government uses this submit to corrupt government when that's not what the Bible says. Great book to get to all your pastors. And, of course, all orders get a free citizen rule book, Bill of Rights, Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and more famous quotes, jury nullification. And we also are doing a deal at cost where it's the computer's got to have something put in there. So it's 1 penny and then the shipping. It's $4.95, which it actually loses money. So I don't know how long I'm going to keep this going because I can't lose it. But you get 100. You Are the Resistance cards with my websites on the back to help give out to people. Great InfoWar weapon. Listeners have recommended this. A citizen rule book and 2 bumper stickers. And you pay for the shipping, $4.95, and that's what it cost me. The shipping and handling actually ends up costing me a little bit more after, you know, the guys packaging the stuff. The point is, that's there. We're going to keep that going at least for a few weeks, and it's having a big effect. So Infowars.com. You have no idea the calls we get, the people on the street. So many people wake up, police officers, school teachers, mayors, military people, everybody, when somebody just gives them one of my films that they've copied or a business card that people printed up, or people write Infowars.com on the money. I'm not saying do that because it's some little federal thing, but that's how a lot of folks tell me they're waking up. So whatever you do, take action today, and thank you for supporting us. And please also support our local AM and FM affiliates out there by supporting their local sponsors. Okay, you know, I don't know where to start with the stack. I mean, this is all just crazy, the amount of news. I got to some of it in the first hour, but let me just start now as best I can ahead of your calls. Daily Mail, it makes me ill how many people talk about ripping clients off. Goldman Sachs executive quits over firm's toxic culture and extraordinary resignation letter. And I want to try to get this guy on. This just broke. Boy, I don't know how long he's going to be alive. And, of course, their emails have gotten out where they talk about selling people stuff that they know is absolute crud and laughing at them. I mean, it's one thing to rip somebody off. That's bad enough. They giggle and snicker and enjoy. Or when, you know, there's an earthquake, they say, oh, that was my wallet falling. I mean, it's because I've learned people who are criminal and don't have a soul or whose soul is darkened, they just can't help but rip everybody off. I mean, who wants to be around that? It just creates a toxic society. Of course, you have the Timberwolf emails that were a division of Goldman Sachs where they're like, this is absolute bleeping. I can't wait to rip my clients off. You know, just like, wow. Wow, and these are the people that are funding the global carbon taxes, the takeovers, the African invasions. I mean, they're the takeover of Europe. This is who runs the global government. And there are a bunch of guys going, I'm only worth $10 billion, and the other guy's worth 40. Rip everybody off. I've got to, you know. I mean, they're just a bunch of scum. And they think they're the elite because they don't have empathy or that basic human programming to not be an absolute piece of garbage. And they're all a bunch of surly, sharky scum. And I mean, my instinct is stomp their heads in, but I'm not going to do that. They're criminals. We're going to expose them. And more people are going to get it. You know, you guys that are evil wonder why your kids suffer horrible fates, why you're so unhappy, and you just think more is going to, fancy restaurants, everybody kissing your rump. I mean, I've gotten enough celebrity and not looking for it to know it's not fun. It's not fun. And, you know, I've got a decent little house and cars that run well. Why would I want more? Well, for them, it's just all about power. just absolutely off-the-chart information. A Goldman Sachs executive has dealt a deeply embarrassing blow. Well, who do you think Naomi Prinz is? She worked for him as a managing director and exposed him 8 years ago. She'd left. I mean, because you just can't be around people going, rip everybody off. I mean, literally cackling and giggling. I've read the descriptions. Tapes have been released over the years. I mean, it's like cackling demons. They love wrecking everything. They want to wreck your life. They want to triple your gas prices and triple your water prices. They want to bankrupt you. They like seeing you homeless. They like it. They like it. They don't want a rising tide to raise all ships. They want to destroy the free market. They're blaming capitalism when they're doing the opposite of it. A Goldman Sachs executive has dealt the deeply embarrassing blow to the firm by quitting in an open letter in which he lambasts the working environment as a toxic and destructive. Boy, that says it lightly. Greg Smith, an executive director who worked with the New York-based investment bank for 12 years, claimed it is more interested in making money for itself than its clients. Well, yeah, they always bet against their clients. That's well known. That's what came out. In a scathing resignation letter published in the New York Times on Wednesday, he reveals staff have so little respect for clients, they call them Muppets and talk of ripping eyeballs out. Well, yeah. And again, these are little boys. I've been around these people. Max Kaiser's been one of them and exposed them. And, you know, got his soul back and left it all. I mean, they call them scum. They call you filth. You know that face in the crowd? Guys, YouTube face in the crowd in scene where, you know, the famous actor is sitting there, and it's the end of the show. He didn't know the audio's still on. He's going, hello, scum idiots. And the show's all about how he loves everybody and all this. So that's why I hate Angelina Jolie and all these people. I mean, they know they're evil. It's all real funny to them. They know it's about a murder operation in Africa, and they're going to get awards for it and be called humanitarians. And the guys at the end of the TV show, he's like going, hello, morons, you're scum. See you next week. He doesn't know the audio's still going up. And that's what I can't stand about these people. I mean, they're so delusional that they don't care because they're making bigger bonuses while reactors everywhere are leaking. 90+%. I mean, listen, cancer isn't fun. And just because you giggle and are like a bad 10-year-old, I've been around some of these people. I've been on airline flights. I've run into them at events, you know, presidents of these big brokerage, and they are like gibbering, giggling demons. And then they've always got like Lucifer types above them that are real cold and getting off on it and look at everybody like they're a side of pork they want to eat or something. I mean, you know, You guys are like people that don't pee in the pool. You poop in the pool. And we're all in the pool, and you're in there pooping. I hate to be gross, but that's the analogy telling us how great it is. And, man, it isn't great, okay? Doesn't mean I'm on some high horse and that I don't do things that toxify society. But you know what? I don't like it. I try to be a good person. Not because I'm weak, because I'm strong, scum. And I'm sick of strong people letting little cowardly pieces of trash like you control society. I want humans in the entire universe, the galaxy-wide, everywhere. I want our species to survive, you filth. I realize my life is short, scum. I want to live through the species. I want to continue on as my ancestors wanted us to continue on. You are malfunctioning cancer, and I'm sick of you. And I'm tired of good people being cowards and not rising up against you. I want to info rise against these people, and I want to hammer them down. I want to spread the word, as humans have done since our creation, to each other with the truth and defeat the enemy. I cannot be ruled by a bunch of arrested development scumbags who go to award ceremonies every night to feed their narcissistic, out-of-control paradigm. These people are a joke, but because we have blind spots to them, because we're good inherently in our hearts, we're inherently bad in our flesh, but our hearts inherently are good, we are blind to them because even though we're desperately wicked, we still know we want the good. You understand that paradox? We're desperately wicked, but we know the difference. And we choose good. It's the choice. These people have chosen to be divorced from reality. You can go read the whole article. We got it linked at Infowars.com. I'm coughing a lot today. The oak just hit. It's not really like cedar where it gives me a really bad headache. It just makes me cough a lot. So the oak are going crazy right now. Just the start of it, so I'm coughing a bit. All right, I'm going to try to shut up. See, I just went to one article and spent 10 minutes on it. I got to come back. I mean, there's like over 100 here. They're all off the charts. I got to try to hit something. Who knows what I'll hit? We're going to be right back. But, I mean, it's just ripping off old ladies, man. It's just, you know what? And they've got all the laws written so they can do it. And they own the big private prisons with the cops cramming people in it for their profit. I mean, it's got to end. These people got to go down. Here's a report that got top linked on Drudge today. Major U.S. airport to evict TSA screeners. Orlando Sanford International could prompt stampede of other opt-outs. Yeah, how do you have federal goons there grabbing everybody? And we have a photo there of them actually grabbing people right between the crotch and squeezing. One of America's busiest airports, Orlando Sanford International, has announced it will opt out of using TSA workers to screen passengers, a move which threatens the highly unpopular federal agency's role in other airports across the nation. People are like, well, now it's going to be private. Well, at least they'll get pressure put on them. And, you know, when it's an old man they see that has all 4 of his arms and legs blown off, come flying every week, they'll know and let the guy through. You know, who are the feds to say how all this is supposed to be done? Or microwave oven machines, the rest of it. The president of the airport said Tuesday he would apply again to use private operators to screen passengers using federal standards and oversight. Why are there federal standards over it? Get the feds out, man. They're a bunch of crooks that ship guns into Mexico. And it goes on from there. So it's not perfect, but it shows that the pressure is starting to work, starting to happen. We heard suicide attack bid on U.S. Defense Secretary. It turns out a car burst into flames. Sounds like a staged event, the fact that it wasn't a big car bomb when his plane landed. Who knows, but it just sounds like stuff they do. Also, Texas Planned Parenthood CEO arrested for indecent exposure. Isn't that just special? Planned Parenthood is a eugenics organization, ladies and gentlemen. Plain and simple. And it goes on to go over exactly what's happening on that front. As I told you, this was coming. Angelina Jolie in court as ICC finds Congo warlord guilty of using child soldiers. So now they don't, it's just a perfect way to invade whoever you want. And of course, CBS News reports they've introduced resolutions in the Congress to launch a continent-wide invasion, quote, anywhere to protect civilians. So it's just a blank check. We're going to invade to protect civilians. Yeah, that's what the globalists use our military for, is to protect